What's going on, guys? I know it's been a while. I've been a little late. I apologize for that. For those of you who do not know, I am Ben. I'm on Captain Free East Coast, and I'm the sound tech. So, it is now about to be February. It actually is already February 1st. So, the entire month of January is gone. We've had 4 events in 1 month. So that's every single weekend we've had an event. Now, you already heard about the first 2 events in the other 2 videos. Go check those out. So now I'm going to do a quick overview on the other 2. So let's see what's going on. We had Harrisburg as our 3rd Quake. Now, Harrisburg I've heard about, never really been to, but it was actually an interesting event because the ballroom that I'm used to, which is Baltimore, is a long, kind of narrow ballroom, or this one is just a wide ballroom. So it was interesting to have the setup there. The other cool part was that we actually got to use our stuff. We used our mains, our subs, our technology in that case, whereas the first 2, Bread of Stone, had the whole setup. So it was really awesome to have that. The number of kids, I think, was maybe 400. I probably butchered that number, but it was a good large number of kids. So it was awesome because I got to see a really good friend of mine, Ben Aarons, who is actually one of the 2 guys that actually kind of talked to me and got me to open my eyes to, hey, look at this opportunity on Captive Free. So he's one of the guys I credit to actually me thinking about more doing this, which is awesome. So the featured band that we had was Swen and Dean. Now, Swen and Dean, I actually thought was a husband and wife team. They're actually brothers, so I messed up on that one. But they don't have a huge band. It's just them. It's Sven playing guitar and singing, and then Dean doing vocals. And they are the craziest, coolest, most energetic people that I've met so far. Just because they love sing-alongs, they're very good at it. They're very good at in capturing the audience's attention and just getting everyone so hyper and crazy. It's fantastic. Now, the speaker I've actually never seen before. After going to so many Quakes that I've been to, I've never seen the speaker, and her name is Tiffany Thompson. And Tiffany Thompson is, Tiffany Thompson. So she is one of the speakers, and she did really well. I very much enjoyed her talks. It was cool. It was nice to get to actually know her. If you ever have that opportunity, I highly suggest it. Now, I'm going to segue into this because she has this book called Jesus' Feet. And, I'm only about 2 or 3 chapters in, and it's a really interesting read because it kind of opens your eyes to other perspectives and other interpretations of Jesus, which I very much enjoyed. So I'm currently in the middle of it, so I would highly suggest, if you can, you should read it. It's really cool. So that is Harrisburg in a nutshell. It was cool. Got invited to all the meals and all the family times, which was great. So one family time was really cool. They had a book with 99 questions, and they're all kind of random, not all biblically related. And so you had to pick a number, and I picked 7. And the question for 7 was, what's your definition of the word peace? And then another girl later on picked, say, 33, and her question was, what's your dream job? They're all a bunch of interesting discussion kind of like questions. And I thought that was really cool. So yeah, that's Harrisburg. Boston, which I think was in Newton, Massachusetts, but it's referred to as the Boston Quake. I could be wrong. Sorry if I am. Now, Boston was a lot smaller than other Quakes that I've heard of. It was only 125 people, including youth, junior guides, high schoolers, and adult leaders. That's really small. So when I heard of the number there, I was like, oh, this isn't going to be that great. There's not going to be as high energy music or as high sing-alongs, or I'll be able to hear the singing in the back of the ballroom. But I was able to. That was the greatest part about Boston, was that there was so little people, but yet they all just sat there and praised God just as if they were 400 people, which is just so awesome. Now, the feature band that we had there was Daniel's Window, and Daniel's Window is a 5-person group, drummer, bass, electric guitar, another guitar, and a singer. And they're awesome. Look them up on iTunes, YouTube. They're awesome. So, the speaker there was Luke Hartman. Now, I have seen Luke Hartman before, but I didn't remember him until I saw the first 5 minutes of one of his talks. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I remember you. And it was really cool to be able to be like, hey, let's meet up, let's chat. And then I got to talk with him, see how he was doing, got to talk to him about how I was doing, got to talk about a couple things that were going on, such as the Columbia Mall shooting in Maryland. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It just happened probably within a week and a half ago. So it was a little scary because that's where I used to work. Now, Luke was awesome, Danielson was awesome. The number did not matter. It was cool because it was a Quake Zone, so there was high schoolers and middle schoolers both being there at the same time. So when I ran my trek Chosen, I had to do one for the adults, one for the middle schoolers, and then one for the high schoolers, which was interesting in itself because when you do it to middle schoolers, you want to emphasize on certain things, kind of make sure they understand what the topic is talking about because of how serious it is. And then on high schoolers, a lot of them kind of they know what a lot of the terminology means. You don't have to sit there and explain it to them, which I kind of enjoyed. I'm used to explaining it, but it was cool not to have to this time. And it was nice to have genuine discussion about it. And I actually surprised one of the girls that was there. I told them to actually Google their name, and you'd be surprised how simple the internet is to find out who you are. And she leaves the room, Googles her name, and then comes running back in. It's just so surprised that just by Googling her name, her Instagram was the first link that popped up, and she had no idea that was actually possible. So it was a nice little eye-opener for her about what I actually talk about when it comes to the internet and how it's really not secure. The other fun part was that it was an event director that ran it was Dave, as a lot of people know him as. And it was really cool to have an event with him because I've never had one with him, and he was very Dave-like. Everyone, I'm sorry if you don't know him, but that's kind of the only way I can explain it. He's just crazy awesome, and it was so much fun having an event with him. It was cool because another guy that I knew, Fig, who trained me in being a sound tech, got to be there, and it was cool to hang out with him, see him run the soundboard. That's a piano. So it was really cool to just hang out with those people, meet all the bands. So this is thankfully going to be a short one, but it just proves that the number of youth does not determine the power and the godliness is like stuff. The God moment of everyone just singing along. It doesn't matter how small it is. It's still amazing. So that's going to do it. For this one, it's going to be nice, short, sweet. If you would like to support my cause, which I actually haven't mentioned in the previous ones, I would greatly appreciate it. You can do it through your prayers, which I would appreciate. You can do it financially by donating towards my cause. And to kind of explain what it is every teammate of Captive Free's many groups is requested to to fundraise a total of $10,000. And now that is a large sum of money. I'm not expecting one person to say, here's $10,000 and be done with that. That's not what I would expect. If you would like to donate towards my cause, I would greatly appreciate it. There's going to be a link in the description on how you can donate. You can do it through mail if you need to send a check in. You can do it over the internet, which is what the link will do. Yeah, so bye!